Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the launch of another brand new one-day special. My name is Scott Worsfold, and I'll be with you for this next hour. In fact, I'll be with you for the next couple of hours, actually. I apologise now. Don't leave, because I've also got lovely Jenny with me as well. Hi. Yay, the saviour. JJ, Jenny Jackson.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Happy New Year.
And you too?
Yes, I know. I'm not seeing. I know.
No,
That's how long it's been.
I've not been up here.
No, is this your first show of 2021?
It is indeed.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, welcome. We've missed you.
Oh, thanks.
That's nice. Always lovely to have
coming up.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, the traffic's
I've not missed the drive.
No, exactly. But listen, it's absolutely lovely to have you with us on the show.
Thanks.
And when you come, it's great because you've got great projects. I know you'll be working through with us and show us and demonstrate. So we've got some great projects for you to be able to get hold of. But most importantly, beautiful fabric. Now, when you mention the name of Moda, you know that you've got an association here with quality, 3 times quality, of course, which is great. And we've got a great one-day special for you, as you can see behind me. And each one of the options you're going to go for, whichever colour option you go for, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Before we go through the options, though, can we just talk in general, Jenny, regarding what we got here? Because I know we were talking before we went live, and you said these are great, and they're great even for people that are starting out on their projects with what we get. Just talk to us a little bit about...
They're so good because they're half metres.
Yeah.
You can do so much from them.
Right, OK.
You can get so much out of a half metre.
Right.
And the bundles are just gorgeous, and it's a metallic that goes through loads of them. They're just stunning.
They're really eye-catching.
Yeah.
They're absolutely beautiful. Now, I know I've just mentioned Moda itself as a name, and I know we've got this... I mean, they are absolutely beautiful, and you can sort of see there, they look luxurious, they feel full of quality. What is it about Moda that helps them sort of stand out above the rest, really?
It's the quality of the actual cotton and the prints. So both together just makes it amazing. Yeah. And good quality to sort of have for long wearing as well for projects? Yeah, perfect quilt projects.
Right, OK.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking
at...
And
clothes.
You want to say that again?
Clothes.
And for clothes as well?
Yeah.
Ah, right, great. Well, they are lovely. So I'll tell you what, let's go through the options that we've got for you, and you can choose as well. So we're going to start off with the darks that we have for you. Well, say we have got 6 options in total for you to go through, and you are getting 5 half metres as well, which with whatever bundle it is that you choose, that you can go for this one. So shall I go through to start with and have a little look? And the metallics really are beautiful, but you've also got, on those background, they're not just one pure colour, for example, and here, as you can see, you've got, I mean, what sort of effect would you call this? It's almost like...
grunge.
I know it is the grunge, the grunge. But all right, as it started, we're not 2 minutes into the show and it's already started. It's great. It's absolutely brilliant. Yes, they've got that grunge look, but this idea that you've got that... Is it like a sort of a paint sort of style on top of it, or is it like they've scratched away one surface of the...
It's really quite hard to describe.
Yeah.
So it's 2 tones.
Thank you. It is quite hard to describe.
It is. That's why I was just like grunge.
That's why I fell.
It's 2 tones. So you've got 2 different main tones of grey in that one. And yeah, it does look like it's a kind of painted, scratched away jobby.
But they are really fun. I mean, I don't know. I mean, do you have an idea already which one you think is going to be the first to disappear and to sell out on these?
The one that you're holding's my favourite.
Is it?
And the one next to it, I love the greys and navies and the blacks.
Yeah. I mean, the darks. I mean, that is really. When you talked about the metallic style, that really catches the light, doesn't it? That is really lovely. And these are good. I mean, even with that sort of style, these are okay for machine washing.
Yes.
They will
completely.
be. Well, they are fabulous. I love this one that you got with the stars as well. But every one of them as well, you've got that lovely detail. And if you're liking that, but again, you want a bit of sparkle, then how about this as well with that? Look at this.
Can't you imagine Paula having a skirt out of that?
Yes,
or a little jumper.
Absolutely. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. So really lovely. So that's your dark option to start with. I know that I always get a bit paranoid when the floor managers look at me because I never... It's like when I go into any clothes shop, I never fold the jeans back up as they were when I got them. Right, I need to push the grey one back a little bit. The second one, I'm being told now, oh, it's like having that way. Oh, don't look at that bit, Mr. Director. It's like having your mother in your ear, I tell you. Right. We're on to the blues, everybody. Don't have them, get them with this, because, I mean, again, really lovely styles. And a lot of these, actually, again, the sort of the different tones within, they complement really nicely within each of the kits you're going to go with it, whichever one it is, isn't it? They are loving that. Again, the blue, the black to work with that, and stunning. And they, again, whichever one you pick up, you are catching the light with those. I'm loving the dots, and with this, almost like this sort of sprayed gold that you can see that works with these. And then, of course, we have got the sort of more without the metallics, but again, those lovely blues that will work with all of those. Really lovely. So there's your blue option. Last one over here to my right. I know that's probably not put back. I'm trying, you know, right, we are on Ben, the floor manager's looking at that going, I can hear him tutting already, I'm sure. Now, we're on to the naturals that we have for you here. Sort of projects would you think? I know we've got, you've added some of these in with one of your projects that you've put together already. But what sort of projects do you think with these kind of colours to work with, Jenny?
Just really gorgeous classic quilts.
Right.
I really do just think they look stunning all together.
Yes.
So cushions, homeware, all different projects you could just make.
I think the naturals with that, like you say, the homeware, the cushion side of things, the soft furnishings to go with it. I really like that. I know that hasn't got any of the sort of the metallics in it, but I just love, again, that sort of just broken up. It's not just a cream all the way through, but you have got those broken up elements that really do look sort of soft, quite subtle on those ones, actually, on the naturals, aren't they? But work really beautifully as well. That is gorgeous. Right, they are your naturals that we've got. I'm just going to step to one side, I think, and bring to you here. And, right, let's move on. And we have got the reds here. So, again, sort of a really nice, powerful colours. But the reds also here, this almost got like peaches that are mixed in with this as well. But you still have the little red flecks that go through. We've got the stars. A lot of them, again, you know, they are the same designs that we're looking at. But, again, just different ways of working. Again, the reds with the gold that you can see, and finally, again, they've got sort of peachy melba kind of little yellows in there, pinks, oranges, as well as sort of the reds and the deep sort of crimsons that you've got. Is there any particular ones in there you think they would match up beautifully as kits? I know we've got the greens and we've got the blue greens working together. That's a sort of an obvious one, but you've got a better mind than I have.
Yeah, so the navies and the greys. So the far two, they go really well together.
Right.
And then actually the middle two go well together.
Yeah, they do.
But so
true.
for my projects, because I didn't have them in the bundles, so I've actually mixed and matched loads of them together, because I wouldn't be able to just get one.
No.
I would be like, oh, I want that one and that one.
Yeah, it's going to be quite hard, actually, if you have got to narrow down which ones you're going to go for, because they are absolutely beautiful. Let's just finish off with that we can show you here. These are the greens, and these have got a lovely mix of greens in here, sort of really deep, beautiful emerald green here, with a little bit, again, almost sort of verging on a bit of turquoise in there with those, again, but that works really lovely. Then you've got more your lime greens, really lovely and bright, very fresh, very crisp colours coming through here. Then you've got sort of like, again, they've got a bit of the mustard, a bit of the yellows, but they've also got in here a little bit of the sort of the peachy colours that we've just seen again with the reds. So again, some of these they will work and complement and work with. We've got that lovely, beautiful star design, again with those sort of greens, a softer, not as bright as the early one that you see earlier on, but again, that grunge effect in the background just takes it down, which is lovely. So and we've got one more as well for the greens, of course, with the greens, with the blue coming through, and then, of course, you've got your gold spots on there. So these are your green, beautiful sets. And then to finish off with, we've got a lovely mixture, actually, which are your blue greens that work really, really nicely, actually, on these that complement beautifully together. Again, you've got one of those that's much more sort of a softer feel without any of the metallics that's in. Then we've got a bit of a teal, sort of a tealy blue that's sort of coming through on this. Again, no metallic in that, looking really lovely, beautiful. And then, to go with those greens, the greens with the sort of the blue flecks that come through, which are really lovely. Then we've got the blue with the polka dot, with the white of the polka dot, and then you've also got the lighter then with the gold to work through. So really beautiful. You're going to be spoilt for choice now. I can imagine that's going to be quite difficult, of course. But with each one of those, whichever one of those you go for, you are going to be getting a spool as well of the thread to go with your bundle. And we've got the 4 colours. I'm hoping that you're going to be getting the colour that will sort of match to go with the fabrics that you're going to be having, OK? So hopefully that's what we'll be looking. But you're going to be getting one spool of there. I think there's 1,300 metres on the spool itself that you're going to be getting. The actual thread we got here, Jenny, I mean, you were saying about the quality that we're going to be getting with this.
Yeah, Orifil's the best of the best threads for hand sewing, machine sewing, and because you get so much on there, it lasts.
Right, right. They're really lovely colours as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they're gorgeous. So those ones are variegated ones.
Yes.
And they're great for piecing, but for quilting, the variegated ones look great if you've got like a mixed match of colours on your quilt.
They'll work nicely with those.
Yeah.
And I know that with the projects, is it a quilt we're starting off with?
We are today, yeah.
And again, for people that are starting out, really, you've got great material to work with. We've got the great thread to work with.
Yeah.
It's a good start already to the project. Whatever that is, isn't it, really?
Definitely. That thread, honestly, once you've used it.
Yeah, that's it. No going back. No going back. So all of that, as you can see, 730995 is your item code on there. You've got your darks, your blues, your naturals, the reds, the greens, and the green blues. All of those. Now, they are available on your Flexi also. So if you wanted to, you can get these right now for your first payment of just £20 and 23 pence, of course, over your 2 payments. So a really great chance for you to do that. You do have your saving on here as well of £6 on your one-day special. So the whole thing is £40 and 46 pence. Now, if you're liking those, you're thinking, well, but actually, I wanted a bit more freedom. I like that, and I like that one as well. Maybe they're not in the same range. Well, we've actually got a pick and mix that you can choose from. So each one of those fabrics, they're all available for you on your pick and mix. You can pick any two that you want. Please visit the website. The website where you'll go, that will have all the options, all of the colours, and you can choose any two that you want for just $14.99. So that will give you 2 half-metre fabrics on those. All the colours and all the different styles will be available for you there. Please pop those ones into your basket, but they're all gorgeous, all described very nice. The Canslow, the mint tea, you've got the fairy dusk, the black dress, I think is a sparkle that we looked at earlier on. We've got the, I love in the espresso actually, with the black with the gold elements. You've got all your different polka dots in there with your gold to go with it. You've also got the gorgeous colour. I love the kelp there actually, very, very pretty, but they're stunning. So if you've got a certain project in mind, maybe you want to go for two of the same. You know, if you want to just mix them around, you can do. Then, of course, that might be the best way for you to work with them if you want to go for your pick and mix. $14.99 for those, 724526. Now, your dispatch is going to be the 11th of February as well. Now, some options on there, and it will come up when you look at those, but some options may came up as dispatched from the 18th. We do have a little bit of a variable between them. They're not all the same, but again, just look at the smaller details for that if that is something that you want to take into your consideration. 724526, absolutely beautiful. Slowly, they're boxing me in. Slowly, things are growing around me with more lovely colours. But now we've got the gorgeous solids that are there for you if you want to work for these. And you can go for your bundles. You're going to get 4 half-metres in your particular bundle here for £24 and 96 pence. And again, these are really beautiful, beautiful colours to work with. Again, working hand in hand with these, Jenny, again, with the other ones we've got there.
They're perfect blenders. So if you get like one of the bundles of the grunges,
yes,
then you can just pad it out with solids for backings, bindings, or even just within the main pattern that you're making.
Right, right. Yeah. They are absolutely beautiful. So where shall we start? We're going to start at this end. Is that right? We're going to start at the naturals over here, okay, for your bundles all together. But again, you can sort of see, I don't want, oh, I'm going to step just slightly in front. Oh, nearly tripped. Oh, that would have been a little bit of a blooper, wouldn't it? Just there. It would have made someone have a right old giggle. I can already hear someone giggling just at the prospect of what could have happened. Right, starting off with these are your naturals. So you've got in here, we've got the blacks coming through. We've also got sort of the lovely creams. Can you see these? Is that all right? There we go. There we go. I'll try and show them as best we possibly can. There we go. And we've got the sort of greys that are coming through, working with those particular 4. If I put them all together at the top, is that a better way of sort of seeing them all together? There we go, and you can see them all together there, so the 4s will all work. That's your first of your bundles there. They are your naturals. The next 4, we have got the reds. Again, I think it's going to sort of stay up here rather than separate, because that's the best way, hopefully, that you can sort of see, and I don't get told off by floor managers, which is always, not that Ben would tell you, he's always smiling. These are your reds, really very bold, very striking, very rich in their colour. If you're looking to make a nice splash with your colour, then the reds certainly will do that for you. They are stunning. We've got the pinks, which are much more sort of softer palettes that we're looking at here, much more sort of really muted in that respect, but nevertheless, really pretty colours. And again, some of the sort of the peachy colour. These are then, you know, we talked about the ones in the reds that have that peach Melba kind of coming together. You'll be able to pick out some of those again with these. They will go really nicely with them, even though they've got little flashes on them, which are lovely. And then we've got our pastels. Staying with our pastels, we've got the pastel blues, are really lovely. And again, all these colours you're seeing are in those ones we've been looking with the grunge set. Even if there's just flecks of them, there'd be enough certainly that you'd be able to pick out with working with these. They are absolutely beautiful. Right, just turning over to the left, we've gone for the pastel blues. Now we're moving on to the dark blues, which will have your navies, a little bit sort of virgin, some of the turquoise bits we mentioned as well. Some a little bit more muted that you're seeing, some of them very, very vivid and very, very bright. But again, these are your beautiful blues that you can see here, the dark blues. Two more sets to show you as we work on to the greens. These are the bright greens, are really fresh, just like we saw with the bright reds. Really fresh, really vivid, really rich. They're certainly going to pack a punch when you're working these in your projects. They are beautiful, absolutely lovely. And then at the end, we can see we've got all those lovely forest greens. So there's really rich, deep, again with their emerald and those very, very luxurious, beautiful greens. And again, we've also got in there sort of the mustard colours coming through that sort of go with those little muted, deep sort of leaf colour you might find more autumnal. For dispatch for these, we're looking at the 11th of February for whichever bundle you're going to go for here. 787419 is your item code. Brilliant value on these, £24.96. Usual price nearer sort of £28. So you've got a nice saving on there, but really beautiful. Again, hard decision which one you want to go for, those bundles. So you might want to go for the pick and mix yourself. That may suit you better. If you do, then they're £13.99. Again, you can pick, you've got your half metre on any two of those. They don't have to be within the same range, of course, so whatever colour you prefer. If there's a certain project you've got in mind or you wanted a couple of the same colour, then your pick and mix might work best for you. Is it the same dispatch? Are we looking at the 11th, 14th? OK, so again, it's either going to be the 11th or the 18th for dispatch on those. They should be able to tell you on those when you go to check out on those which dispatch date you will be getting. But again, perfect way. In fact, I think on this show, on the one-day special, actually, with Moda, we've got something for everybody. If you want to go for the bundles, you know you're going to get some beautiful materials that are going to complement and work really, really nicely, even within their own. But if there's something that you really like, particularly on its own itself, then your pick and mix option is probably where I would direct you to go for. And don't forget, if you're going to go for the bundle, you will be getting your spool as well of that thread, 1300 metres of that as part of that bundle. Right, OK, I think it's only fair. I've done far too much talking on this one, Jenny. What project are you going to start us off with then?
We're going to start with the big quilt.
Lovely. Now, tell us a secret about that. Have you been working that a month, 2 weeks, a week?
Less than a day.
Less than a day. That is amazing.
Yeah, so it's a 60.5-inch quilt square.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how I managed that, but I did. From cutting out all the way to quilting and binding, it's a day's work. That was.
Well, it's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. So it's the perfect quilt for beginners.
Right, OK.
But also for more advanced, it's great if you want to use it to practice your quilting, because you could do some amazing quilting in this.
Yeah, right, OK,
yeah.
OK.
So this is actually using 7.5 metres with a little bit left over.
Oh, right, OK.
Yeah.
OK.
So you could do like one bundle and then get 2 of the pick and mix solids.
Ah, yes.
Or 2 of the pick and mix
from the grunge. Yes.
Yeah. So I've mostly used the tonal ones here, and this one, I love this. It's sparkly.
That is beautiful.
Yeah,
isn't
I think it just really added to it with some sparkle.
Because I know I showed the one in the, but I don't know if I caught that one actually wrong. But if you can see that one again, that with the black as well.
Yeah.
Would work, but hopefully you can catch that we got that lovely sparkle in there, which on the close up that you can hopefully you'll get a chance to see. Are you catching it there? It is. Yeah, there we go. We can see it on the screen there. But if you imagine that being the white equivalent of what you've got here, hopefully that again is a nice way of sort of demonstrating. Yeah, so that's the black, and you're going to get that in the white. I'm not sure whether the camera is absolutely grabbing all that, but that's what we're looking at there, so you can sort of see how much sparkle. But it is absolutely beautiful. It's really magical when it catches the light, isn't it?
Yeah,
actually?
and they sew up really well.
Right.
So it's a lovely mix with the metallics going through. So it's a simple quilt.
Yeah.
And it's all, obviously, it's got a design. It's not just randomly placed. It's going out like this.
Yes.
But yeah, so 7.5 metres, you can make a 60.5-inch quilt.
Wow, wow,
so, yeah.
That's brilliant. That's and actually, I'm thinking of that. I know we got that in the naturals, but I can imagine that in the blue. I can imagine that in the greens.
Yeah.
They're really lovely.
I've got the it's the
Is that the reds?
The reds,
yes.
yeah, but not all of those. I've mixed it with some of the solids as well.
Oh right, yes, yeah.
Yeah. And some of the grunge fabrics.
Lovely, lovely.
So yeah.
Right from basics, where do we start with that? We've got our 7.5 metres.
Yep. So in the pattern, it will say I've labelled them like fabric 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
And say how many squares to cut from each fabric.
Right. Great.
And then
great.
my suggestion is once you've cut those squares, label it.
Right.
Label fabric 1, so then you know.
Yeah.
When you're laying them out, because I always say lay it out on a floor.
Right,
or a surface first before you start sewing all the rows together.
Right.
Because then you just know that you've got them all nice.
Prepared.
Yeah, I like organisation. Maybe that's how I got it done so quickly. Because I just cut them all out and then I laid them out. And then I was just like on my sewing machine, grabbing the first row, sewing that together, putting that row back down, sewing the next. So they were always, so I didn't ever get mixed up.
You know you've laid a challenge down for people to see if they can beat that. In a day, can you beat that? By the way, if you do want to go for the pattern, it's there on the side of the screen, 044592. It's only £9.99 for that, for the quilt and the cushion pattern for you. In fact, we've got a lot of patterns that Jenny's brought along for you as well, if you want to have a little look. They're all on the website for yourself to look at, but all really, really well priced. And again, all lovely projects to work with these particular fabrics as well that work nicely.
Yeah, I've done, although the front cover's not necessarily with those fabrics, I've made a version of all of the patterns in these fabrics, and it was fun.
Lovely.
It was fun because I was just picking, because we didn't know the bundles at the time.
No,
so I was just, I like this one, I like this one. Oh, I'm just going to mix them all together.
Go for it, go for it. Right, where do we start then?
So the first thing you need to do is cut your 0.5 metres into 6-inch strips.
Right.
So I've cut one up here. Could do with a press, but we're just going to ignore that. So then I'm just going to trim off the selvage, because you don't need that bit.
Where we say that this is for the actual quilt and the cushion, would I get all that out of my 7.5 metres?
So with the cushion, obviously the back you wouldn't.
No, okay.
So if you can see, the cushion is
beautifully demonstrated.
Right? I used the same fabrics again. I think I added one different solid, but you will still have some left over to use for this.
Okay.
Might just need to add one extra.
Just a little bit extra, right.
It depends how well you cut, because I was working it out as I went along, so I might have wasted a bit of fabric. But yeah, you can pretty much get the front of the cushion out of the same as well, yeah.
Great.
So, yeah, you've got 6 inch. So this is made out of 6-inch squares. So I've got my ruler upside down here. So you're just then going to cut 6 inches along your 6-inch strip. So line it up. When you're first starting patchwork, a ruler like this is a must.
Right, yeah.
And you do need to cut your squares as accurately as you can, because that will affect it when you're lining up to try and get nice points.
So don't rush this part of the process.
No. Especially if you're beginning. Once you've started and you've done a few quilts, you get into your own rhythm, and you kind of just get on a roll.
Yeah.
Just going to press this crease out slightly, because it's going to affect my square.
We have got the quilting kit, by the way. It's on the side of your screen there if you want to go for all of that now. All those, if you are just starting out, it's having the right tools for the job, isn't it? So you're going to get your 45mm, the rotary cutter that you're seeing working there as well, the 6x6 inch, the quilt ruler, and the cutting mat. So again, if you are just starting out, really good starter kit to work here. £39.99. That's 306138. if you want just starting out or know someone that's starting out and think, well, let's give them a good lift to start with, actually.
That's a brilliant one, and the
really
square room is perfect for this project.
Yeah, it is.
Well.
It really is. It is perfect for this.
And to be fair, even if you've already got bits, you always need new ones. I'm forever replacing mine. I mean, I do use all my stuff a lot.
Yeah, yes.
But I am forever needing to replace.
Yeah, if you're doing a quilt a day.
Exactly, that's a lot of cutting.
That's a lot of cutting, isn't it?
And these smaller cutting mats are brilliant for once you're allowed to, when you go to like quilting groups and stuff, the slightly smaller ones, so you don't, because I never travel. My one at home is huge.
I see.
So I never travel with that one.
No, right. If you want to go for the one that actually is being used at the moment, then we've also got that one for you. If you just want the cutting mat, £12.99, 17 by 11 inch. And this is for the self-healing as well, for the rotary cutting mat as well. You can have aqua or pink. Both great acts, by the way, in the music industry. 620334 £12.99. If you like, I'm a Barbie girl.
I'm done.
I don't know where that fact came from.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do. Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Oh my gosh, you remind me of the man in it.
No, let's not go there.
I'm going to be Googling him later and I'll put a collage on your face.
Harsh. You know, sometimes when you wish you hadn't said anything.
Sewing.
Oh, I can't believe that.
I'm just messing with you. So I'm not going to do 11 squares along like the quilt, because I just want to show. So I'm just going to see how far we go with it.
Yeah, lovely, thank you.
And also, obviously, to get the design right, I wouldn't start sewing in the middle, but I would start laying out in the middle, because I started with this as the middle point of the quilt, and then went out. So we'll just do a little design. So I've cut all these. I couldn't help myself because I really thought I was going to sew this many squares together in an hour. But once I started cutting, I was like, well, you know, maybe one day I'll have time to finish it.
Yeah.
One day.
Maybe between shows, you're back on at 8.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And all day tomorrow.
Finding work for you.
There we go. So this is how I started the middle, obviously, and then I just went out and out. I'm just having a look to see what fabrics I've cut here, because they are just all so yummy. I always describe fabrics as yummy.
Yeah, it's a good description.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, so they're the solids we've got there?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's a nice mix of solids in here, and you can just, and if you haven't got enough, they are perfect to pad a project out if you haven't got enough prints.
Right.
So, because they're all tonal and they've been picked really nicely.
Yes.
You could just keep going. So what I'm going to do is I'll pick this middle one. I probably won't have enough of all the colours cut. But if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 along, we'll do that to start with. And I'm just going to pick these 7 up, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. So then you're keeping them in the order.
Central row, yeah.
Yep. It's all about keeping them in the order, so when you sew them together.
I can't imagine you actually doing this without having this organisation about it, actually. It must be a nightmare. Because
there's nothing worse than if you're sewing and you've sewn all your lines and then you sew the first 2 rows together and then the third and then the fourth, you open it, you're like, there's a square wrong here, and then you've got to undo the rows and undo some of the squares to get that one out. No. Because if anyone's like me, I couldn't live with that. I couldn't live with one wrong square.
No, exactly. No, I think there are a lot of people that would be with that.
So, patchwork, for anyone who's not done it, is so easy, sewing squares together, and you just take your time.
Okay.
So I just wanted to show how to nest seams when you've sewn 2 rows together. So my plan is to sew 2 rows and then show you the best ways to get those points here. These points here, just can we see? We're going in. Just going to stand here. There we go. So to get those points nice, so they're not overlapped.
Oh, right, yes.
In some projects, you can't really see when they're slightly off.
No.
But to be fair, even if they are off, it's just learning.
Yeah.
It really does take time to practice.
Yes.
And get them perfect.
Got you.
But I just wanted to show you, like, simple ways. So this whole quilt is made with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So you can either use a 1/4 inch foot on your machine, or if your needle changes position, you can do that. And if you haven't, just measure 1/4 inch, you can work it out, and pop a piece of washi tape down on your machine.
Right.
And then you can follow that washi tape.
That's your guide. I got
as a guide,
nice,
yeah. Because then that comes off your, it won't leave any sticky residue on your machine or anything.
Right.
That's what I use. Right, so we're just going to go down. You don't need to worry about back stitching, but if you want to, you can. And then you can pin as well if you don't trust yourself. If you think they're going to move, pop some pins in, but I'm just going to go.
I forgot you have the quietest sewing machine in the world, don't you?
Only, yeah, it is quiet unless
Is this the Juki NX7, isn't it?
Yeah, unless I put my foot down and it just goes, then it's noisy.
It is.
Only on this table though, but when you, because it rocks a little bit.
Yeah.
So it makes it
it's
noisier.
a beast. It is a beast, isn't it?
It is
we do have that on the show, by the way, because I know we've had people asking about what tools you're using, etc. This is a phenomenal piece of equipment, isn't it?
It's a forever machine.
So
yeah, you might want to think about it, obviously, because it's a lot of money. But you know, when you sometimes buy the cheaper machines,
yeah,
you are going to have to replace them.
Right, okay.
You as a person might grow out of it as such.
Oh, okay, because
but
of what this can actually do.
But this one you grow into.
Oh,
yeah,
right,
so if you get a basic one, you might get to the point where you're like, oh, this part isn't big enough to throw because I want to do a big quilt.
Right.
Or it hasn't got some functions that you want, whereas this has everything. So I'm still growing into it. It's still got functions that I don't use, I want to use, but I don't have time to for me.
One of those investment pieces, isn't it? You know, you're going to use it for a long, long time with all of that you get. Plus, you're going to be getting as well the additional feet set as well. That on its own is worth £160. All that comes with that, and it is an investment, and it is investment, but certainly something as you're watching over the one-day specials they go, you may want to just have a little look around on this one and find it on the web and check through, because you can say, how long have you had yours now?
I have had mine since summer 2019, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, and you're still working your way through everything.
Yeah. Only because this is like, you can just do these most amazing stitches,
right?
And you can write names and do like football images of footballs and teddy bears. And they're just little ones in a row.
Right.
So you could do teddy bear, name. And then two teddy bears, and like it will just stitch it for you. Oh, you just put your foot down and it goes. So you program it in. It's great.
That sounds good. My kind of stitching.
Hey?
That's my kind.
Yeah,
like
it just does it for you. So it's really nice. You can add those, and you could do. So a lot of people, when they're gifting quilts, they like to put labels on the back.
Right. Okay.
With like to whoever it's for.
Yes.
Maybe happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Or whatever it's for. Memory quilt.
Right.
And then the names. So you could stitch that on a piece of fabric and then sew that onto the back of the quilt.
Nice personal touch.
Yeah, yeah. The quilt labels are really, really popular.
Right, yeah.
Just never have time to do
that. You haven't had time to do that in a day.
I know. It's amazing how I can do that, but two of my friends' babies have just turned 1 and they still haven't got their quilts for when they were born yet. I know.
You'll be married soon.
Right?
Yeah. There we go. Bit of pressure.
So when you've sewn 2 squares, open them out. You can press it at this point, or you can press it when you've done the whole row. Row 1, I would say you press it all to the left or all to the right, and then row 2, you would go the opposite way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'll press these as I go. So I'm going to press this one to my left. Don't use steam, because that will distort the fabric. It will stretch it slightly, and then that means your seams are going to go wonky.
Oh, okay. That's a good tip.
So don't use steam. Just press it nicely there. You can use, can actually just use a roller if you want.
Oh, right.
A hand roller, but love an iron. Right, so the next one's right sides together again. And you're just going to line those up. And do your 1/4 inch seam. like I said, it really is important to get your squares cut as perfect as you can. I've rushed these, so they're not actually going to be perfect. But when you are cutting, I always say take your time. Right. If I had the luxury of time, then I was like, how many can I cut? As quick as possible. There we go. So again, it's always right sides together when you add your next square. And line them up nicely. Like I said, pin if you feel comfortable. I just never seem to pin unless I really, really need to. So this machine is actually the first domestic industrial machine.
Really?
Yeah, so Juki are famous for industrial machines.
Okay, like so big, large scale.
Yeah. But so this has loads of the features of an industrial, like how quick it will go.
Wow.
I haven't actually even got, oh no, I have got mine on the fastest.
So all that technology, but basically to sew in the can be used in the home. Yeah, so
we can actually lift it up. The industrial ones are so heavy. I don't know if you've ever seen them before.
Wow. That's a brand name, isn't it then? That's when you know you're dealing with the best.
Yeah, it's the one. My favourite feature, the inbuilt walking foot for quilting. Usually you have to get your screw out, unscrew your foot, add your walking foot. This one's here.
It's in there.
Just pull it down and it clips onto the back.
That's
it's my one.
Yes.
Saves me so much time because I always do things so I'll change my foot, think, right, I'm going to quilt, and then I'd remember I hadn't done something, so then I'd have to take it off again.
Yeah. Don't need to worry about that on this.
Or I often do more like swap projects. So I might get halfway through quilting a quilt and need to stop to do a different project.
Right.
There we go. So I've added another. Just going to press that one to the left.
Let me know when there's a good time to pause, and we're going to do a recap on the
you can do a recap, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on adding the squares to this, and I'll start the second row. Okay. The only difference with the second row is I'm going to press those seams the opposite way, so I'm going to press those to the right.
Right, okay.
That's the only difference. So I'll just carry on sewing along while you do this.
All right, thank you very much, Jenny. We'll come straight back with you then. Okay, we'll give you an update of where we are. If you are just tuning in, a very warm welcome. It's the launch, of course, of the new one-day special. It is, of course, the great name of Moda, and we have got some beautiful, genuinely beautiful fabrics. So we've got something for everybody. The one-day special is all laid out behind me with all the options that we have got for you. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colour options to go for. Now, they all have, whichever one you're going to go for, the same style patterns that are within those particular ones. And you're also going to be getting, as well as your 5.5 metres of all those wonderful fabrics in those bundles, you're also going to be getting one spool. You've got 1,300 metres of all those beautiful colours, and you're going to be getting one spool per bundle. And they will be matched to the best match they can do with the colour bundle that you choose. We were talking about the quality as well, and Jenny was saying earlier on that once you started working with this particular thread that you're going to be seeing here as part of your bundle, you're not going to want to go back. It is absolutely amazing threads to work with if you go with Orifil thread, so that is absolutely brilliantly. Let's just take you through the options. Start it, and they're all gorgeous. And if you're looking for those projects, it could be in clothes, it could be in soft furnishings that you're working with. But if you want that extra special detail, something when you look, not just the sort of the plainness of the colour. We have got the solids on the show as well as an option. But if you just want that when they catch the light, if it's maybe a throw cushion or pillow that you're going to have onto the bed or on the settee, for example, or something again where you just want it to just add a bit of extra sparkle, then these are the absolutely the bundles to go with it as well. So we're going to start with the favourite. Oh, we're starting with actually the darks that's in here. Well, look, wow, we are approaching half the stock. Can I tell you what, if that's the favourite option, can I go to what my favourite fabric is within that option to start with and show you? I think this is absolutely amazing. I mean, beautiful fabric. So, you know, I talked about eye-catching. Like with anything, when you've got those metallic elements into any of your material, you know what that can sometimes do as well to the cost, what you're looking at when you've got those. But this is when you see when that's catching the light. Where are you? There we are, right up there. So let's just show you. Hopefully you can see how that is catching the light itself. That's the same with all the metallic elements on any other colour options. Let's just bring you those in with the gold of the polka dot. as well, that you can see how they also just beautifully catch the light. But it's not just that you've got that plain grey behind, you've got those sort of charcoal greys, you've got those blues that are also mixing into here. And another one that is I absolutely love. And again, we talk about, you can imagine Paola wearing this with a little top or maybe as a skirt, for example. But look at that there. I mean, that is absolutely... It's in the lead. Almost, I think it's almost or half the stock has already gone 39 minutes into the launch, which is absolutely phenomenal. So there, your dark option that you can see with the nose. Let's move on to the blues. Oh, right, a quarter of the stock with the blues. Now, this, let's show you, this is probably the... I don't want to say the word dull because it's not dull, but it hasn't got the metallic elements in there. But you don't have the sparkle, but you do still have what's lovely, and I hope you can see that on the screen. You're still getting that lovely mix. So you've got the blues in there, but you'll see there's little flashes of the turquoise that are also in there, sort of a deeper purple that come through as well, which is gorgeous. Let's show you another one of the, which I didn't show you in the darks, but they're all in the same patterns, but here I show you in the blues. You got that gorgeous, almost like the North Star kind of feel on that, but again, that grunge effect that just breaks it up, which is really lovely for large or for smaller elements. Let's show you the favourite I showed you in the dark, but show you with the blues. Look at that. So you're getting that royal blue and those beautiful gold flashes. I mean, that is a luxurious material that you're getting again from the great name of Moda. Let's work our way down to the naturals that we can see, and again, these are beautiful. I know this is some of the elements here that's already been used in what you're seeing Jenny working with, and again, she's got this in there. This is the same as the black option there, where you do have that sparkle. You can sort of catch it there. There was a little bit of that sparkle, but the same as you can imagine from the black. But you know what's lovely about the naturals is the gold works really nicely, actually, with the naturals that you can see here. This is beautiful. We are 30% of the stock here, again, already allocated. And you can see how they really do complement. They look absolutely beautiful together. So there's your first three options. Let's work our way on to the reds that we've got for you here. And again, if I just bring them all slightly forward so you can sort of have a little look. But these, when I say reds, it's a blend. You've got not just the different patterns in the background with that grunge effect, but I'm looking at peach melbas in here, sort of like tequila sunrises with lovely oranges and pinks and reds that mix together. But then you do, and you can see it on that one there. Where are we? There we are. You can see it with this one there. But in contrast, you do have then those really beautiful, deeper crimsons with those reds. So you're getting a lovely sort of play across all of those that works so, so nicely. Then we're going to get onto the greens, and then we've also got the blue-green to go for here. But here's the greens to start off with. They work really nicely. Again, you've got a blend in here. You've got some of the yellows. You've got the deeper greens that work nicely. Especially if you've already seen the solids that we've got available for you, you'll see how these colours are picked out that you'll sort of get a chance to work with. And they are absolutely stunning. And this, again, has got the green, the gold, and those sort of turquoise flashes that work so, so nicely within that. But that's your green option on its own. And to finish off, we have got the blue-green. So you've got some, like the Star one, for example, you've got a much sort of deeper green all the way through that with flashes of the lighter. But you've also got, in contrast then, you've got, I love these two together, actually, the green, and then you've got, it's sort of like a teal blue that sort of works with those, but really nice. Again, they complement, because of that lovely pattern that runs through, they complement so, so nicely. The other one I like about this is the blue of the white polka dot. That's a very nice, really lovely feel. And then you've also got the gold polka dot works with those so nicely. So they're your options that you can see here, all in the same item code, 730995. The whole bundle, don't forget that includes your spool, 1,300 metres of the thread to work with that as well. All of that is available there for £40 and 46 pence in total for your one-day special from the great name of Moda. Whichever option you're going for, 5.5 metres plus, you've got that fantastic spool as well. Now, if you're liking them and you're thinking, well, I really like that one or that particular one to go with that, or I like that one in the red, maybe the pick and mix is the best option for you, which means you can choose any two fabrics you want. They'll both be, of course, 1/2 metres that you're looking at. Could be two of the same one if you are really struck on one of those. Best thing is, the great thing is you're watching the first live show of the one-day special, so you've got the best pick out of the bunch. What happens is, as they go on, then some of them become sort of more depleted in stock, and sometimes it's always your favourite one that disappears, isn't it? isn't it? You don't want that to happen. So choose now which ones you really want to go for and get those one into your basket if the pick and mix is right for you. Item code, by the way, all those options on the website, hochanda.com. That's the one you want to have a chance to look over. 724526 is your item code, and both of those, whichever one you're going to go for, two for your pick and mix, it works out just £14.99 for your pick and mix. Absolutely brilliant one-day special. And don't forget, also on the website are the solids if you want to go to, which Jenny's also using in the project she's working with at the moment. If you're also, just to recap, with the project as well that's being made, you're going to need 7 half meters. You get 5 half meters in your one-day special, but don't forget on your pick and mix, you may want to add in one more pick and mix with 2 more half meters, so then you've got enough to work on the project that Jenny is working with at the moment. Speaking of which, let's go back to Jenny and see how we getting on. How's that stitching coming on?
I've done another row and started another one.
Good.
So I thought I'll show you how to sew these 2 rows together.
Great.
So this is just 2, it's only 7. So, you know, if you want to do this quilt, but you can just do smaller, a baby quilt.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect for that, because it, you know, the seams are going to be sewn really well. So if you want to use it for a baby quilt, it'll be fine.
Perfect.
So you could just do, you know, pick a size.
Yeah.
And just, again, start from the outside, so then you can follow the nice little pattern that's going on.
Lovely.
Right, so this is 7, and just going to work out where they go. There we go. So you want to put your 2 rows right sides together. And this is the reason why here I have pressed one row seams to the left and one to the right. So I'm just going to show you. Here we go. See there, they will just nest. No, I'll show you this one because that square's cut bad. There we go. They will nest nicely in. See if we can.
Oh, right, I see.
There we go.
Yeah, I got you.
So that's going to, because you can feel that as you're sewing, and that's how you're going to get your perfect point.
Right.
So
it's the details like that that will make the difference when you start multiplying how many times you do that.
Yeah, so you might just think, oh, I'll just press the seams whatever way. It also reduces bulk. So if you've got all the seams going the same way, you're going to have that extra bulk in those seams. And when you're quilting, that could mean that as you're going over, it might just go wonky slightly. Yeah,
we don't want that.
As it goes over. Even if you're using your walking foot, that still could happen.
Right.
Right, so if you were going to pin, I would always say pin here, like either side of the seam.
Right.
And then maybe one in the middle, one either side of the next seam. But I'm not going to pin.
I thought pinning would be quite important for this one when you've got such a length of material and you're trying to keep it so precise.
Definitely. I've got those squares that I trimmed quickly here. Maybe not quite 6 inches.
Then. You forgot where you put them, yeah.
No, just not quite 6 inches. I'm just going to, if you do get bits here, actually that's quite a good thing to say. So if maybe you've stretched the fabric slightly or you haven't cut it perfect and you have a little bit overlapping here like this, just trim it off before you sew those strips together. It's not going to make a difference there because it's just going to be a straight line. It's always good when things go slightly wrong.
Yes.
You don't learn from anything if you don't. Right, I'm going to sew these sides together anyway. That's not even going to affect it, is it? Right.
But we've learned.
Exactly. This is what I wanted to do for this show. I really did want to just go back to the basics and show anyone who's not done it before.
Well, I think that's really important because we do have, you know, a lot of viewers that join in with us all the time. Every day we're welcoming new viewers, and sometimes it is easy, and for me I always need reminded anyway of all the basics that go on anything at all, whether it be watercolour, whether it just be stamping, whether it's fabrics, whatever, but sometimes we can forget, can't we, and just think, oh, everyone's done this for years and years, but a lot of people starting out, you know, especially during lockdown again, etc.
Exactly. Oh, I would have gone mad if I didn't have something to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that's why people are turning to us.
Yeah.
What can I learn? I've done everything else.
I'm going to watch Scott all day. He'll keep me sane.
Oh, no, blimey, no, that's not going to help anyone's mental health, I tell you. No one needs that.
Yeah, pin together if you want to. If not, just feel as you go.
Okay.
So you want to, so my bottom seam right now is actually facing towards the machine. So when I go over this little lump here, it might flick backwards. So you want to lift it up and make sure it
goes
the right way, because if it folds back, you are going to end up with that bulk. And yeah.
Good to keep an eye on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll show you what I do when I get closer to it. So I'm just holding these. So as you can see here, it's now, I can feel that it had moved and folded over. So I'm just going to flip it down to make sure that it's facing nicely. So we're just going to go over that seam. Obviously you could have pinned all these. So I'm just going to make sure my seams. So I will, because I'm not pinning, I will hold those seams. And then as I've gone over that lump, just need to flip my seam back again to make sure that it's in the right position.
And actually, something like this, once you've actually done the preparation, so once you've done all the cutting out, all the measuring, you've worked out exactly how the pattern's going to pull together, it's a project that once you've got that initial, you know which one you're, side to side that you're stitching and going through, it's a project that can come together quite quickly.
Yeah, definitely. This is what I call the perfect gift quilt.
Right, okay.
Because, often you want to, when you make quilts, you love to gift them. And, if you're anything like me, you forget when people's birthdays are. You're like, oh, yeah, it's tomorrow. So, they are quite... This is a really quick quilt, but an effective quilt, because it's not just random patchwork, because you've got the little pattern within it.
Yeah.
Then it's great. And like I said, you can change the sizes. Again, if you wanted to make it even bigger, just carry the pattern on. Obviously, you would need double the fabric. It would get to the point where you would actually need 1 metre of one fabric, not half a metre of one fabric.
Right, got you.
But you can always make it bigger. And obviously the binding, you would then need more. But if you don't know how to work out binding, the way I do it is you add each side of the quilt up.
Okay.
So in this case, it would be 60.5 times 4.
Right,
because each side's the same. And then add 10 inches.
Okay.
That's how much binding you would need.
Right.
That many inches. So then if you add that up, and then if you're using 1/2 metre, you use a width of the fabric.
Right.
Roughly 44 inches.
Okay.
So divide your total by 44, and that will tell you how many strips of fabric you will need.
Oh, okay.
And then obviously you sew all those strips to make one.
Right.
So if you don't remember that, you can always message me on social media.
Always message or just catch this on Rewind.
If you've ever got questions like that, I'm more than happy to answer them.
I was with you for the first part of the math. I think it was what was it, 250 and 152, I think, was that something like that? I don't know where it was.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't going to actually try and work out what 60.5
so you said 60.5 times
6.5 times 4.
So so you
add
240, 240, and plus 10.
Plus 10.
252. I think I worked that out. But
yeah,
if I got that
252,
wrong,
right. Divide that by 44.
Oh, here we go. My producer just woken up there and just said, sorry, did you need me there? I was doing all right when I got to 252.
To be fair, I always use a calculator. Maths is not my strong point at all. And I often in my patterns add an extra strip for the binding, because sometimes people do their binding differently to how I do it.
Yes.
So they might need more. So I tend to be on the generous side with that, because it's a 2.5 or 2.25 inch strip. If you have any left over, just press it so you get rid of the fold, and that's a strip that you can use for a scrappy quilt or English paper piecing.
Got you. Yeah, perfect.
It never goes to waste.
No,
my
of course
strips
not.
I just unfold and press them flat, and then that's a strip of fabric ready to be used for something else. There we go. So that is the 2 strips sewn together. So now what you would do is press these. So when you're pressing your rows together, open.
Yeah.
Open, yeah. When you're pressing your rows. So I would start with the top row, do the second row, and then I'd press them all down. So when you're adding the rows together, press all in one way.
Oh,
this will help when you're basting your quilt. So the main rows are all going one way.
Got you. We are coming down to our last minute.
Are we already?
I know. Don't worry, you won't have long. You'll be back on again at 8. You could get another 2 duvets done in that time, couldn't you, really?
Yeah, I could do.
Yeah.
Finish the quilt off.
Yeah.
I haven't decided what I'm doing in the next hour yet, which project.
Well, lovely to sort of see the project going through as well. Which is lovely. Thank you very much indeed for all that, Jenny. It's actually, love that design though as well, and they work, like you say, with any colour from the options that we've got. And there we've got our first 2 rows.
This reminds me of a Tutti Frutti sweet.
Oh yes, it does. Yes,
like the blackjack. The other
fruit
one.
salad.
The fruit salad.
Fruit salad.
Yes.
Yeah, you see.
I'm hungry now.
I love it. I love it. Jenny, thank you so much indeed.
Fine.
Enjoy your rest. I know you're back at 8 o'clock with lovely Paola. With a new project, as you say, as well, which is lovely.
One of the other projects behind me. I don't know which one yet.
So make sure you come back to that. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much. And thank you very much. And I hope you've enjoyed the launch. I tell you, it's very, very busy. They're working out all of the sort of dispatch dates at the moment, but there'll be an update with Paola and Jenny at 8 o'clock tonight to go through. But don't forget, in the meantime, go to the website, check out exactly which colours you want, especially if you want your pick and mix, because as I said, I know your favourite is probably the one that goes first. That's how it works, isn't it? Thank you for your company. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back with you on the other side of this with a fantastic happy hour.